Talking Trees with Lily and Jad. Welcome to this week's recap on Talking Trees. We've covered everything from the basics of meristems and how trees grow to close-up on managing pests like the oak processionary moth. Lily and Jad are here every day to take you through the wonders of arboriculture, so let's dive in and keep learning.
Welcome back to our deep dive this week into last week's Talking Trees podcast.
Yeah.
We're going to be focusing on what we as professional arborists can glean from these episodes.
You know what really struck me? Talking Trees does such a great job of, they bridge that gap between like the actual science of trees and then how that translates into practical tree care.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
It's a great reminder that, if you're going to be out there taking care of trees, you really got to understand the biology first.
Totally. And they jumped right into that on Monday's episode.
Okay.
All about meristems.
Yeah. Meristems, the tiny but mighty growth engines of trees. They explained, the two main types. You've got your apical meristems, responsible for that vertical growth, reaching for the sky. And then your lateral meristems, which drive that outward expansion.
So interesting. And as arborists, we know knowing where those meristems are is crucial, right, for pruning decisions. So important. And then, if you're looking at a tree and you're trying to figure out why is it stunted? Why is it growing abnormally? Meristems can be like the key.
Yeah, it's like having that secret decoder ring to understand how a tree is behaving.
Exactly.
And then Tuesday's episode, things got a little more adventurous.
Ooh, tell me more.
We're talking tree climbing techniques.
Okay.
They covered moving rope technique, MRT, and stationary rope technique, SRT.
They really broke it down well.
I thought they did a really nice job explaining the differences between those two approaches.
Yeah, and I really liked that they compared MRT to climbing a ladder.
Oh, yeah, that was a good one.
You're moving the rope up as you climb.
Right, gives you that flexibility to navigate all the branches.
Yes, all the branches.
And then SRT, they said it's more like rappelling down a cliff.
Okay.
You're relying on that fixed rope, which can be really efficient for certain jobs.
Yeah.
But it might not be as agile as MRT.
Right, I see.
So they really emphasized, choosing the right technique for the situation.
Yeah.
Thinking about what kind of tree.
What you're trying to accomplish.
Yeah, what are you actually doing up there?
And your experience level.
Yeah, and of course, safety first.
Always. Always.
Absolutely.
Wednesday, we came back down to earth.
Back down to earth.
All about planting.
Planting for success.
This is a good one.
Oh, I took so many notes during this episode.
Me too.
They covered two major things.
Okay.
How to assess the quality of nursery stock and understanding those planting standards.
Okay.
Yeah. Really important stuff.
And they didn't shy away from the details.
Oh, no, they got right into it.
Oh, they got right into it.
Like how to spot a healthy sapling. You're looking for a good, well-developed root system.
Trunk caliper.
Yeah. They even gave some guidelines for measuring that.
Yeah, basically you're measuring the diameter of the trunk.
About 6 inches above the soil line. Make sure there's no pests or diseases lurking.
Right. Such an important reminder that if you take the time to carefully select your nursery stock and follow the proper techniques, so many problems down the road can be prevented.
You think about those issues we see all the time with girdling roots, poor establishment. It often comes down to those initial planting choices.
So important. Thursday, things got a little bit more diagnostic.
Oh, yeah. Tree vitality.
Yes. Tree vitality, basically.
Yeah.
A tree's ability to thrive and resist stress.
That's it. And they walked us through some really useful visual assessment methods that we can all use.
Like in the field.
Right out in the field.
Oh, that's good.
So, analyzing the crown structure can tell you a lot about a tree's overall health. Checking for dieback, looking for epicormic shoots.
The little...
Yeah, the small, rapidly growing shoots that pop up.
From the trunk.
Yeah, or branches when a tree is stressed.
Yeah.
And, of course, evaluating defoliation levels.
Right, a key indicator of pest or disease problems.
Exactly. But they made a really important point about considering the context. Like the tree's species, its age, and the environment.
Yeah.
A young, newly planted tree might look a little different than a mature tree of the same species.
Right.
And a tree struggling in a tough urban environment might show signs of stress that you wouldn't see in a more ideal setting.
It's all about putting those visual cues into context.
Exactly. You got to look at the whole picture.
The whole picture.
Yeah.
And then Friday, we shifted gears a little bit.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
To professional development. They talked about the European Tree Technician Program.
Yeah, the ETT.
I was so impressed by how much that certification covers.
Yeah, they really go in depth.
They go in depth on tree physiology, structure, soil science,
species selection,
safety procedures,
even legislation and stakeholder communication.
I mean,
it's a lot.
It's a lot.
But it really shows you that being an arborist...
It's more than just climbing and cutting.
Right. It's about being a well-rounded professional who understands all the complexities of tree care.
Absolutely. And they really emphasize that the ETT promotes this holistic approach.
Especially in urban environments, thinking about sustainability, ecological impact, making sure our urban forests are healthy for the long haul.
I mean, for anyone considering professional development, that's a great reminder.
Absolutely.
Continuous learning is essential.
Yeah, there's always more to learn.
Yeah.
Always new challenges popping up.
Exactly. And speaking of new challenges, Saturday's episode brought us face to face with the oak processionary moth.
Ugh, those things.
Those things
can do some serious damage.
Yeah, they shared some recent research.
Oh, yeah.
On how the moth impacts oak tree health.
Okay.
And particularly how it reduces photosynthetic efficiency and overall vitality.
Not good.
Not good at all.
No.
But what I found really interesting was the study on using bacteria found on the moths as a potential biological control agent.
Oh, wow. So like fighting fire with fire?
Yeah. I mean, I'm always fascinated by biocontrol.
Yeah.
It just seems like a much more targeted and environmentally friendly approach.
Right. Instead of just dousing everything in pesticides.
Yeah, exactly. It's like using nature to fight nature.
Yeah, working with nature.
Which I guess you could say is really at the heart of good arboriculture.
Totally.
I mean, we've covered a lot.
Yeah, we've barely scratched the surface, though.
I think this gives us a good overview.
It's a great reminder that even for seasoned arborists, we can't get complacent.
Never stop learning.
Never stop learning. Exactly.
Yeah, there's always new pests and diseases.
New research.
New best practices.
We got to stay on top of it.
We got to stay on top of it.
To give the best possible care to our trees.
Absolutely.
That's a lot to process, for sure.
Yeah. But I think what's really valuable about all of these episodes is that it really provides a framework for how to think about tree care holistically.
Right. It's not just about, individual tasks or problems.
Yeah.
It's about understanding how everything is interconnected.
It's about seeing the forest for the trees.
Exactly. And when we start connecting the dots, thinking about how proper planting techniques, how those careful pruning decisions based on meristem activity, how all of that influences a tree's vitality and its ability to withstand stress.
Yeah.
Whether it's from pests or disease. Or just,
a tough urban environment.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And knowing how to accurately assess tree vitality, like they were talking about, using those visual cues.
Yeah, that's huge.
Is just crucial.
Absolutely.
For making the right calls.
It's like being a tree detective.
Yes.
You're using all those clues to figure out what's going on.
To diagnose.
Yeah, and then come up with the best solutions.
And, of course, we can't forget about staying current on the research.
Oh, yeah. Always learning.
Best practice.
Like those biocontrol methods for the oak processionary moth.
It made me think.
Yeah.
When they were talking about the ETT certification and how it covers such a wide range of topics.
It's pretty impressive.
It is.
Yeah.
But it also made me wonder, is there a risk of becoming too specialized?
Interesting question.
In our field?
Yeah, I mean.
Some arborists focus on pruning.
Right.
Some are really into tree risk assessment, pest management.
Makes sense to develop a niche, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think having deep knowledge in a specific area is incredibly valuable.
Oh, for sure.
But I also think it's important to have that foundational understanding.
Right. You got to have that base.
Of tree biology, growth patterns, soil science.
All those core principles.
All the core principles.
That underpin everything we do.
It's like, a doctor specializing in cardiology.
Okay, yeah.
They still need to understand the whole human body.
The whole system.
The whole system.
Yeah, it's all connected.
It is all connected. And so I think specialization is great.
Of course.
But it shouldn't come at the expense of that broader knowledge base.
Yeah, that big picture perspective.
And I think that's what's so great about talking trees.
Yeah, they do a good job of.
They bring together so many different perspectives. Right. And then they weave them into this narrative that bridges the gap.
It's like bridge.
Between the science and the practical application.
Right.
And it's all about taking care of our tree.
Talking trees, Monday to Sun, Lily and Jad, learning's begun. Tips and tricks, every day's new. From roots to bugs, all just for you. Monday's here, Meristems grow. Roots and shoots start their show. Cells divide, reach for height. Hormones guide them to the light. Tuesday climbs, ropes set tight. Anchors placed, a soaring flight. MRT, SRT, safe we stand. Arbor bound in leafy land. Talking trees, Monday to Sun, Lily and Jad, learning's begun. Tips and tricks, every day's new. From roots to bugs, all just for you. Wednesday, planting, stocks we check. Strong roots here, trees set to deck. Quality high, health assured, future growth fully secured. Thursday brings a vitality scan. Crowns and roots, the health we plan. Old or young, vigor we test, keeping trees in their prime best. Friday's ETT in play. Tree care laws, safety each day. Urban trees we stand and tend, arborists on whom they depend. Saturday's moths, oak trees fight, caterpillars dimming light. Biocontrol steps in line, keeping oak strong, fine as pine. Talking trees, Monday to Sun, Lily and Jad, learning's begun. Tips and tricks, every day's new. From roots to bugs, all just for you. Thanks for listening. The week's been bright. From roots to leaves, it's pure delight. Join us daily. For trees we stand. Talking trees with Lily and Jad. Thanks for listening. The week's been bright. From roots to leaves, it's pure delight. Join us daily. For trees we stand. Talking trees with Lily and Jad. Talking trees with Lily and Jad.
Thinking about all we've learned, how does this week's deep dive into talking trees resonate with your own experiences and observations as an arborist?
Have you noticed any of the issues they discussed?
Like those oak processionary moths or signs of declining tree vitality?
In your local area.
Yeah. And how do you think these insights from the experts might influence your approach?
Yeah. How are you going to apply this knowledge
to tree care? Maybe this has inspired you to take a closer look.
At the nursery stock.
At the nursery stock.
Yeah.
Or reevaluate your pruning techniques.
Thinking about meristems?
Yeah, or maybe even to think more critically about the environment.
Right, all those factors
that are impacting the trees.
That are affecting those trees.
And how we can help them thrive in the face of all these challenges.
Yeah, we're in this together.
We are.
Trees and arborists.
The key takeaway.
What's the big takeaway?
Is that tree care is a continuous journey.
It's a journey.
Of learning and adaptation. Yeah, it's about understanding how everything's connected.
All those factors.
Yeah, from planting to pruning to pests to climate change.
We have to be thinking about the big picture.
The big picture, yeah.
Anticipating those challenges.
And adapting.
Yeah, so we can ensure those trees are healthy for years to come.
So there you have it, another deep dive into talking trees.
Lots of great information.
Lots of great information and inspiration.
For all the arborists out there.
For all the arborists out there.
Hopefully this recap's been helpful.
And maybe spark some new ideas.
Giving you some new perspectives.
For your own work.
Keep those harnesses adjusted.
Those pruning saws sharp.
And those minds open.
Yes.
To new knowledge and new possibilities.
Until next time, happy tree care.
And that's a wrap for this week's Talking Trees recap. Thanks for tuning in and exploring the world of arboriculture with us. From tree growth and health to the practical skills of climbing and pest control, we're thrilled to bring you new insights every day. If you enjoyed this week's journey, support us at herohero.co/talkingtrees so we can keep bringing you the best in tree care knowledge. Until next time, stay rooted, stay curious, and keep talking trees with Lily and Jad.